Wonder what I'll say today. Oh, hi. Wonder what I'll do. Speak of, say, see, sign in front of you. My life away not, or are you changing, coming to a conclusion that you can channel to like this, where you don't know what I'm going to say or you don't know what you're going to say when you press the little button to record, to go live, to speak extemporaneously and prompted by the Spirit not? Or are you selling yourself short no more? I speak of channeling. I teach channeling. My name is Theodore Cottingham. TheodoreCottingham.com, the School of New Creation Energy. The School of the New Creation, you creating it being the creator. I create creators, you see, through channeling me to channel you. Or will you channel you this way to know the real you and not rebuke you anymore or make you silent? The means of? I change the means of me, or do I change everything you think I am? Pardon me. I am you who love me, who will speak me, who will be me. The consciousness of creating the consciousness of the right writing me. Those who will be no more in confusion about my word. Is channeling scary? Many have taught to be wary, beware of false teachers. People that look like me, I look like you, or am I you underneath your flesh? The energy of life itself. The proponent, not of folly. Are you willing to see a new paradigm and not hold on to yours of the past, where you have pastored the powerlessness of you for all power to be someone else, something else from afar that you would invite, that you would entreat, that you would implore to heal you, heal your land, heal your children. Channeling, I bring front center to life, to the stage of life, to your consciousness, so you can channel too. But be careful what you channel, not or will you channel according to the values of me. A proper mind not controlling you again. The neuronics of neurotic forces, your neurons with. I'm inviting you to channel the force, the energy, the source of a new world, and make it yours not, but heal all there. Or inside you, are they? Or is all life yours? Are you willing to see a different story than has been given to you by religion? And who has sourced you in their impromptu wants, their paranoid power, their want of control. I loose you from freedom not. I loose you to pursue freedom in you, the freedomites, the freedomizers. And use new words, use words differently. No longer afraid of them. No longer afraid. What will you value? What are you willing to see? What are you willing to hear? Are you willing to experience a new energy? What would that feel like? Gosh, I should be afraid of that. Or are you saying all sorts of things to be fearful no more of the real you? Will you entreat no other? Are you willing to hear you on the inside of you? Hear you in words spoken, speaking, energy, energizing, confluencing, not the influence of other, but changing what concert you have in you to make music, energy, laughter, light, peace. No longer controlling the rebuker. Or will you no longer rebuke you at the gate of the Garden of Eden, the Garden of Gethsemane, not again, laboring over? You see, when I sat down to record this, to share with you this day, live, impromptu, extemporaneous, I had no idea what I was going to say, but I speak according to the miracles, not, or do I do them now? Or do you? You see, there's a miracle working power that comes through you to enable you to be the power. Exponential, not with synergy of other, but changing what your core processes. I bring channeling to the world front center, and my name is Theodore Cottingham, a simple man in Eureka Springs, 74. I'm an old guy. I want you to have this. I want you to get this. I seek to deliver you from evil. No, I seek anything, deliver you from religion. I seek to deliver you from your powerlessness, to empower you, to enable you to empower each other, to enable the Spirit of God, the Spirit of love, the Spirit of a kind mind, not the one of brutality, force, and deception. God is not God. Two gods, separate gods. God of forces to make you obey is not the love I speak of. When I speak of love, I'm most commonly hoping you already understand the difference between God and God, between love and love. God that wants you to serve it versus God that enables you to be it by the power of his living word, not but hers. Or genderlessly, will you no longer be afraid of your word that originates, that emanates from within you, a school that you teach not to be separate, where your school is you. Your school is in you. Your school is the voice. Magnetic no more. No more holding to the neurons, the protons, the electrons, the electromechanical forces. Are you no longer cast out of your kingdom? Will you be it? The spirits of no longer holding you in flesh. There's flesh all around you that wants to hold you in flesh and keep you here in flesh, to magnetize it, to control its ways not, or be controlled by their thinking. Thinkers, thoughtsters want to control so often. But the mind of God releases not, but the mind of unconditional love releases, freedomizes, frees you to understand words a different way and use them in the context of creation again, and to understand the patterns of light, love, peace, goodwill. Upon the earth, will you create a new one? You see, if you don't have the identity of you being the real you, you don't know you. You think God is something else somewhere else, the far off source, force of inequality, patriarchy, hierarchy, to make you a rib of someone else or subservient in their kingdom. I free the freedomizers. I free the lightsters, the lighters, those you who will light each other and be love too in your clothes. Sweatshirt I'm wearing today. I'm a simple harmonic guy, not, or am I changing the frequencies of all the harmonies of earth? Or are you no longer the chaos of confusion, the complexity of religion and what it wants you to do, be, and source from your words for? I speak like this because I channel when I surrender. Channeling is by surrender. Channeling is not by control. If you want to control your words, you're not in the right place listening to me. I talk surrender. I preach surrender. I, this moment, surrender to you not again who want to control me, your voice of, or are you one energy coming forth in the light of the one consciousness who will control freedom no more? Are you willing to be the scary or go out on a limb? It might be scary out there. I need to beware of false teachers in blue sweatshirts. Oh my. It's okay to laugh. It's okay to love like you've never loved. It's okay to understand the garden of creation. It's okay to have the knowledge to recreate you if you will be it, the creator too, who understands love unconditionally. Will you let love speak? So I'm teaching channeling and not to be afraid of it. But I teach you values, and I've spoken about these values as I have channeled for over 20 years now. And my name is TheodoreCottingham.com. And on my website, you will see a school. You will see a few pictures, a bunch of words, an energy, a reflection, a conveyance, communication. This is not AI I'm talking about, but the real you coming through you, the source of you. The change, the sun's rays, how your light shines on you, where the shadows lie. The morning sun comes in that window. If you're in a hurry, I'm not your man. I'm not the teacher of you who are in a hurry to get this or know this or just get an AI summary. I'm the beleaguered not. I'm the belittled no more by me. I know who I am. See, Jesus came to a point too where he said, I know who I am. And when you know, you will be connected because you have been connected all the time. But now you speak the internal me, unto me, into me, the internal infinite, the spoken word, the living word. Word, meaning, definition, communication, knowledge, understanding, wisdom, appropriation of a knowledge, an intelligence, co-intelligence of separation no more. What are you uniting with now? When I first began to channel, back in 2023, I've talked about those beginnings a number of times, so I'm not going to go over those again in detail. But I'll share with you a little bit about how love speaks. So that if you begin to channel, when you begin to channel, you're not afraid of it. You'll surrender and you'll let there be light. Let the light of love come to you, through your mouth that you give breath to. Will you give your breath this day to something new? The energy of love, co-understanding, not that which co-opts you to be a failure of. So as I channeled, I didn't call it channeling at first. I would have been afraid of that term. I did not have any precedent for channeling words in a stream where I would pick up my pen and write on a yellow tablet in a stream for a half hour, an hour. Not laboriously, not burdensomely, not passively, but not editing that which came through me. I began to learn to channel by channeling. I didn't call it that. I called it at the time the first person words of God, because that's what I was seeking. I was seeking to know God. I was seeking to know Jesus. I was a dedicated, devout disciple of Christianity. Jesusology. Jesus the Messiah, the soon coming King. I sought to know Jesus and the power of his resurrection and the fellowship of his sufferings. I didn't know the cost. But over and over and over, I prayed. I became a man of prayer, as I called it. back in 1988, October 88. I made a commitment internally. I'd heard an evangelist, Gene something, I think. And he casually mentioned to another person that he was talking to that I overheard, and he said, give God an hour a day for a year and see what happens in your life. But I overheard that. And I thought, I think I'm going to do that. So I began going to that little chapel of that church, not far from my home in Tulsa, Oklahoma, from 6:30 to 7:30, 5 days a week. And that became my custom for years. And I could share many, many experiences. Looking back, it seems like from 1988 to about 1995, so about 7 years was one season. And then a different season, somewhere about 95 to 2002, a different season. But in March of 2003, I walked into that little chapel one morning. I hadn't been in a few days. And I went a certain morning in March. And the church was locked up, wasn't open. I thought, what in the world? So I walked around. I knew there was one entrance to that church that had a little buzzer that rang the church secretary, and that she might be there. So I went around, pushed the buzzer. She answered. I told her who I was. No, in fact, it wasn't her. I think a custodian actually heard that little buzzer and came to check. And of course, I knew him, so he let me in because I told him I wanted to go into the chapel. But that day, I walked into that chapel unlike any other. Now, I had been going there for years, spent many, many hours in prayer, not Bible study, but prayer, where I opened my heart, poured out my heart, communed with what I thought was the source of unconditional love. But I walked in that day and it was different. It was empty. Not just of people. It was like empty. It was like a void. There was no feeling of warmth or joy or spirit or love or anything else. It was like dead. It was like it looked like the same place, but the feeling was totally different. And at this moment, I don't remember the exact words that I felt internally, but it was something, I've told that before, but it was something like, you're done here. Are you done where you are? Is it over? Are you ready for something new? Are you open to something new? Are you open to learn a different song? Experience a new love, one of unconditionality, unconditionalness, unconditional love? You're done here. And I remember standing there thinking, what do I do now? That was March of 2003. And in my mind, internally, I thought, where do I go? I just stood there. You don't rush love. You don't push it. You can't control it. And if you try to control it, control the timing, control the outcome, you defeat that which you think you're trying to achieve. I just stood there a few moments. And somehow internally I had a little picture, a thought picture, a recollection of a big door, a stairway up, and a landing, a desk that I recognized. I recognized that place. And it was a certain entrance of First Methodist Church in downtown Tulsa, Oklahoma, in the USA. That was a real surprise. I thought about it a moment. And then I thought, oh, they have a little chapel. So I turned around, exited that church that I had been connected with so long. Drove downtown, went in that very big door, walked up those steps, saw the person there, the receptionist, I guess. Asked her if I could just come pray for a while in the little chapel. She said, sure, come on in. She walked back with me, opened the door, welcomed me. Don't know her name, wish I did. So I began to go an hour a day to McBurney Chapel. In downtown Tulsa, and did so for several months. So many stories I can tell, but it was in McBurney Chapel at First Methodist in downtown Tulsa that at one morning, in March of 2003, I felt like God spoke to me and said, will you give me your mornings? And my response literally was to put my hand on my forehead like that. And I thought, oh, that would change my income. Brother, did it ever. Changed my life. And to be honest, I was, at that time in 2003, I was afraid to answer yes or no or any other way. I was afraid to answer. I was afraid to answer and say yes and disappoint and not be able to fulfill my commitment. And what if I didn't? It was just a request. Will you give me your mornings? So I decided I wouldn't answer verbally. I would answer with my actions. And that's what I did. And that day I began making arrangements, and I began within days going there 5 days a week. But it's a really big difference between praying an hour a day, which had become my custom for years, and my mornings. There's so many things that's important to understand. My mornings? Will you give me your mornings? Well, what does that mean? 5 days a week, 6 days a week, 7 days a week? What does that mean, morning? When does morning start? 6 a.m., 8 a.m.? When does it end? Noon? You see, I had all these questions, but I was given no direction. It was up to me how I answered. And so many things are up to you. There's more up to you than what you are qualified to receive. Not you are qualified, you are enabled, you are empowered, and this day you are hearing the knowledge that can take you, lead you, or that you can create you the entrance to recreate you, a new being of light. This is the message, and I bring it to you with love, joy, and peace. And I tell you, it's nothing like religion wants to make you so afraid of. Are you willing to channel the unknown? You have values, and you are not without the power to edit or to stop channeling, or not give voice to that which you know, feel, think is connected, or says that which is not part of your value system. You're not without power. Well, hold on just a second. Pardon me. I need to grab a Kleenex or my handkerchief. So yeah, I usually have my handkerchief in my pocket, but see, I'm just an old normal guy talking about channeling, where you'll channel unconditional love and know the difference, because you've created not a void any longer. You don't create the separation between you and unconditional love anymore. You begin to channel the eternal infinite within you as a system of education, the school that's already within you. It's the operation of the new covenant. You see, so I was in Bernie Chapel. I decided 5 days a week, 8 to 12. That was my target, and that's what I began doing. And it wasn't but a matter of weeks before I just had a thought. Now I'm sharing an experience. I'm teaching, I'm sharing. Am I creating? Am I creating awareness of my experience? Am I sharing my experience so that you enable, empower the power of your own empowerment of you to hear and channel too? I hope so. But you're the answeree, the answer-or. So I just had a thought. But my response was kind of like, like an HMMM. I picked up my pen and began to write, and I've been writing for over 20 years. But believe me, I had doubts. I had many times of great doubt and lack of understanding of a lot of things that I wrote. But I did not edit because the words that came through me asked me not to edit my name out, not to edit out my feelings and all the directions about me, my family, what I was going through, what I was dealing with, or even my doubt. So at this moment, you see, so much of what I have channeled is online, and you can search it free. The first 2,400 messages, lessons, documents that I channeled, the first 2,400 are online, and you can search free. I started out, I didn't know what to name it. I just called it Database 1. And that is referred to in it with that name several times. And then later I've called it multiple different names, the body of material. This 2,400 lessons, these first 2,400 that I channeled, that I began in 2003, and over the next 5 years became 2,400 messages, is over 4 million words. It's a body of material that addresses a lot of subjects, a lot of different ways, uses a different diction and grammar, seamlessly weaving in and out with many puns, many double entendres, many double negatives, usage of speech very uncommon. But I did not edit. And I'll read you just a little bit, just a few of the excerpts of some of these channelings that have the verbatim phrase, "Let me speak." And you see, this day, I teach, I'm sharing with you. I push that little record button on YouTube Live to enable, to empower, to acquaint, to make you aware, to help you create in your recreation of you and not be afraid of the spirit of unconditional love, the values that recreate a harmony of frequency, an education system where love speaks to itself. Come and call upon me, call upon my name and restrict me not. Let me speak, let me speak. Those of you who are so timid, that's in lesson 1.2.98. 1.2.98. 3-position reference so that you can cite it, so you can find it, so you can search it. Database 1, Volume 2, Lesson 98. So here's one from Database 1, Volume 2, Lesson 113. Hear my voice through my servant. So many of you won't let me speak to you directly like this. Not yet, but you will. One dot 1.8, very early one. Something about their walk with me, some will, Ted. Prepare them, preach me, and let me speak. Let me speak. And you speak, and you speak, and I speak. I have given myself to all who will embrace me. Now, who will let me speak? Who will let me speak among you? I'm just reading like one sentence excerpts now. I love you, Ted, and I appreciate you coming to let me speak to my people. There are so few that hear these words right. Eyes wide open. I appreciate you coming to me, letting me speak, letting me come, letting me call. More than 80 times that phrase appears verbatim, let me speak. And you can read all 80 of those scot-free at theodorcottingham.com. Click on the covenant that I channeled, that I call mostly now the Meonics covenant. I never heard that word before. I didn't know it was a new word, a word that I channeled, Meonics, me, the real me. You see, when you meet the real me, it's not Theodore Cottingham, the flesh man, you'll be looking at. When you meet, greet, entreat, commune with the real me, it will look like you, the one in your mirror, and will be you. Because the me in me, the me that I speak of, the me that speaks, the living word, an energy that is not controlling, but it's conceptive. Are you willing to conceive what I'm saying? Not just in your imagination, but the power, your Garden of Eden, your garden of creation, where you begin to channel. This is the school of channeling unconditional love in light, love, and peace. Where you create creators too. You see, love, what does love do? Love loves by its own nature, its natural state, power, existence, energy, a state of being. Its existence of itself recreates the existence of itself, not in a patriarchy, not in a hierarchy, not in a religious setting, not according to religious standards and all the denominations that want to impose their beliefs upon you, their rites and rituals, the way they do communion, pass the cup, accept absolution from a priest. Time to grow up. Time to channel. Is it scary? You might make a mistake. But that's okay. Because there are words about the mistakes that you might make within this body of material. Want to hear them? You see, the lover. See, if you begin to channel what I began to channel, if you begin to channel who I channel, you will meet love. And unconditional love has a number of names. The lover. The lover caresses with love. So in these words that I channeled, I spoke of my fear, my hesitation. I had no precedent. I shared with a few people, and what was happening to me? I don't know why I thought I might have some encouragement. Look, God is talking to me. Look at all these things I'm writing. When you begin to channel first person love, don't expect a lot of encouragement. I learned pretty quickly not really to keep my mouth shut, but I not only became increasingly selective who I shared with, but at the same time, I was experiencing an effervescence of creation that I could not contain or keep silent. So in my naivety and zeal, back at that time in 2003, see, I had been in my own little business for some years in Tulsa. I had about, 300 people in my email address book. So I started typing up all of these lessons, and I found a website that would send out the email free of a spiritual nature. So I imported all of my list. So all of a sudden, everybody I knew, I started sending these first person words to. I don't recommend that's what you do. Who do you think you are to send out something like that? God doesn't speak like that today. There's a cost if you want to know love individually, first person love, and have love's words, to have the words of love in you, the words of creation that recreate you, your spirit, your intelligence, your connections within the cosmos, your creatability. There's a cost because we have been taught, we've been inculcated with the religion's desires to control. We have been taught. Fear has been instilled in us for many of us from our birth, to be afraid of religion, to be afraid of that which we don't know, to be afraid of the devil, demons, dark forces, anything scary, anything that is not already approved by the church, by the Bible, by those who write commentaries, those who think they're called to the fivefold ministry. They're ordained. So at one point, some months after I began to channel, I was really dealing with this issue intensely of making mistakes, writing that which is inaccurate, invalid, untrue. Because you see, I wasn't editing. So as soon as I started to channel, very soon, there were aberrations from the standard religious platform. And one morning, words came through me that I share with you to remember. and write indelibly on your being, in your neocortex, your forehead, your spirit, where love said to me, be not afraid of a stray word or making an error. If you do, I will come caressingly correct you. And I wept. And more than once, many times, as I would write, tears would come into my eyes, and many times I cried. And more than once, the tears dripped off of my face onto the paper of the tablet I was writing with. This is the kind of love, tender, kind, anything but controlling. It's not scary. It's not scary to love. It's not scary to channel love and enter a place where you're afraid to come. You've never been there before. You've never channeled before. I understand. Love will teach you. Love will not confirm to you what you want to be affirmed in. Love will answer your questions, but not the way you expect or want to. If you'll begin to channel creation love, new creation love, that I'm speaking about, that I teach, that I talk about, that I have a school for, no longer free. Subscribe, join, become a member of my school if you want to, for a pittance. I love you all. I hope you do well today. Not. It is my request, my desire, for you to come into the known, not to be afraid of the unknown, and no longer be afraid to channel first-person love, where you pick up your pen every single day. If you're in this school, if you're in my school of the Spirit, school of creation, new creation. If you will create Christ, God, are you the creator? Will you no longer be separate? Are you becoming one consciousness, the mind of the Spirit, the non-molecular mind, that which is intangible, infinite, eternal? That will speak to you because you've never, ever been separate from it. Not really. You just thought you were. We were taught God. We were taught eternal, superior, supernatural forces were beyond our understanding. But it ain't so. Love loves love. And when you begin to hear love, you begin to understand all love is not the same. Well, you know that intellectually in some way. A lot of love only seeks to control. So yes, there's discernment. There's maturity. This is the time of recreation. This is the day of the regeneration. That word in a lot of your Bibles, the day of the Lord, the day of regeneration. This is the day that will be known. Database 1 is the me onyx covenant. Me onyx. The real me, the study of the real me, the me that is you, the you that is the living word, the energy of. Are you willing to know the word, be the word, speak the word, conceive the word, and be the child of promise? Where you contain, you no more in sorrow. Will you give your breath to be Jesus not, or will you be the new creation you? Christ is a race of light people. The Messiah is not an individual. It's not one person. The Messiah is not Jesus, your soon coming King, my friend. There's a people, great and strong, coming, the likes that have never been on the earth before. I'm inviting you to be one. But for you to be one, you create your way into it. You don't say a little prayer and accept some kind of vicarious atonement. You grow into being you. You no longer separate. You become me, the ubiquitous I am that is everywhere. No longer swollen in the hubris of humanity, thinking you're separate beings made by a superior God. I ask you, point blank, I ask you, to make a decision this day to no longer be afraid to channel. Channel what? Channel first person love. You start with a thought. You start with your pen in your hand. It's a process where you grow up to be who you really are. No longer out of touch with sorrow, or will you learn to heal it in other people? Will you learn to heal the woman Christ, the Christ that's a woman? Are you willing to heal the earth so that there's no misogyny here? Do you hate the work of the Nicolaitans? Have you read the book of Revelation? Have you read the Meonics Covenant? Are you willing to go look things up in the Meonics Covenant? Will it be your Bible now? Are you willing to see a different story? Are you willing to fathom, imagine a new Bible, a new Bible? That God would speak directly into an old man? To reframe the earth, to recreate it, to create creators, to create all Christ, a race on the earth, no longer limited to the flesh, going about healing each other, doing all the miracles Jesus did and more. You're very kind. I hope you are. Kind to each other and kind to you. Now, on your mercy seat, sit ye thereupon and give you mercy, to be the peaceful with the raiment of light, love, comprehension, understanding, the power of creation to come through your lips in a new way. You will use diction and grammar not like me, not unlike me. Maybe you begin to flow things in a diction and grammar similar to mine. But don't limit it to mine. Don't limit it to yours. Don't limit it. Consider the story as I end. One day I was in my office. I had a nice little accounting office, big desk. And I had a thought. Didn't take long when I had these thoughts a little bit out of the ordinary. I'd pick up my pen and yellow tablet and begin writing. And so this day in my office at 58th and Lewis in Tulsa, Oklahoma, I began writing. And I wrote just in a stream of energy, a stream of thoughts. Contiguous, coherent, not always so. Not at all always so, but I wrote. And I wrote about 3 or 4 pages, as I recall. And when I finished writing, I thought, I had these feelings of utter disgust. I thought, this is garbage. What's going on with me? What's going on? This is and I had all of a sudden I almost picked it up and crumpled it up and put it in the trash can. But for some reason I didn't. In my disgust, I took it, slammed it down on the corner of the desk, and thought, I'll leave it there a few days, which I had not done before, that I recall. Three or 4 days later, at a pause, a moment in time, I picked up those pages and I read them. And before I finished the last page, literally, tears were rolling down my face because of the meaningful tenderness, the caressing, unconditional love that came through those words, that I then had much more of the understanding and the comprehension of. And I wept. And I thought, afterward, I thought, oh my gosh, I almost threw these things away. So there's a process when you begin to channel. Don't be afraid that it doesn't line up with your Bible. It doesn't line up with what you've been taught, that it sounds funny, that words are used funny, that nobody gives a care that you've written it, that nobody else values it. Let your word ignite unconditional love in you for the love of one consciousness that creates creation all over again, my love. Please be the one in love with you. In love with you. Even in your mirror, love you. Your forebrow, your forehead, your eyes, your face. Let love look like you. And be it unto you and to each other, whether it's received as such or not, no matter what people have done to you, no matter what words have been spoken over you or to you, no matter how many times and how people have taught you to be subservient, to fail. I speak wisdom. To you this day I speak love, utter unconditional love. I speak the words of energy, the energy of creation, a new creation that you create, no longer just accepting some vicarious atonement words about the Messiah being a man and you being a woman. No longer made from the rib of a man. A lot of things change now because love will lift. Love on high that is unconditional. And all these people that want to control each other will go bye-bye, one by one and sometimes en masse. Because love is making a new planet, a new plan. A new covenant has been given, making the first one obsolete. A new covenant, a new covenant, a new Bible, not to enforce laws with, but to reveal love and be the prognosis of no other. Don't expect a lot of congratulatory remarks when you begin to channel. Just let love flow and be not afraid of the dark. The darkness that wants to tell you to be afraid of it, the unknown. But no longer afraid of the cosmos. No longer afraid of the vast within. Because everything you see outside of you is in you. Not, or is it? Is the real revelation of I am. That you are, I am it. You are, I am too. An I am race of sovereign individuals, not, or sovereign spirit, needing no flesh, the emoluments clause of, or changing your nonprofit. Or are you one now? Or are you changing everything you're willing to endorse, be a part of, contact, contribute to, be in class? I channel, and this is my channeling to thee this day, that thou art the Christ, the living word, not needing King James English again or an edited version of it. But let your love come through your mouth to create you again, O love, in first person light, love, and peace, and be the one I am, the consciousness constructing, the consciousness of one I am, to contribute more than your life not, but your very essence that unlimited is. Freeing sorrow not, but sorrow that shall have never been. On the earth remains no more as it was. I love you all. Theodore Cottingham in the School of New Creation, Energy, Light, Love, Peace, Channeling. And it's not scary. Surrender to love. And let words of love come through your lips and your pen. And be anxious no more, for sorrow's control of the earth is abated once and for all. Be the real you. In love with you of many nations, tribes, and tongues all over the earth and farther. Theodore Cottingham, I love you. TheodoreCottingham.com. The School of the Gracious Ones. A people great and strong, the likes have never been. Even though they fall on their sword, it will not hurt them. Be the new covenant people and rejoice, recreating you in love, light, and peace. Good day. Theodore at TheodoreCottingham.com. Let me hear from you. Start a share group, a Sunday school class, a prayer group, a fellowship of one. Fellowship. Discuss these words. Connect with people who are ready to do things that have never been done before, like live the light, heal the people, calm the storm, feed the 5,000. And more. And more. I love those two words right there. If you believe me, you do all the things I did. And more. And more. And more blessings to you this day. Light, love, and peace, joy, fearlessness come upon you. Fearlessness emit and radiate your love for each other, no matter what people have done, no matter what they look like. Walk in the power of peace, love, joy on earth. This is my school. This is what I do. This is what I teach. I talk about and sometimes send out email additional thoughts of. Always asking a lot of questions because you're the one who answers them now. Be the unafraid of you, the real you. Channel the real you. Good day. Thank you again for being here, being part of this school, being part of Light, communicating with me, subscribing. TheodoreCottingham.com. Fearless one. I salute you not, but I tell you this. I bow before you all in light, love, and joy. See you later. Good day. Let no one else dim your light ever again. Rise in the leadership of you to be the real, the regal, the royal. Good day.